Now start talking to him. Now start texting that guy. Now start falling in love with that person. Don't go fall in love with someone outside of your father's knowledge. And trust me, I'm putting aside the halal and haram factor here. Major haram. But anyway, I'm going to assume that you did it for good. And you know, the songs we sing to each other, right? Don't go falling in love with someone, right, outside of your father's knowledge, and then build an emotional relationship with this person for 3-4 months, and now you've invested in this for 3-4 months to the point where you yourself don't even realize you're head over heels, you see nothing other than him, and now you're trying to find a way, how am I going to present this in front of my dad, and above all, how am I going to convince my dad to accept him? That's oppression. Why? Because you took the rights of your father away from him. Really deep down, you're not asking your dad, can I marry him? What you're really saying to your dad is, look, this is the one. You know, you work on yourself, but really make it happen. Doesn't work like that. Your dad sees what you don't see. Now, I'm not belittling you. Wallah, I'm not. But you have to understand, you know, even for the Arab, they say that the person who's, I forget the expression, but it's something like, you know, the one who's older than me by 1 day is like, you know, he's like more knowledgeable and has more foresight by like 1 year. Why? Because time, it's experience. When your father looks at a woman for your sake, or he looks at a man for your sake, he knows, my young brother, your dad knows what you're thinking. And trust me, he's thinking that for you too. But he's also thinking about things that you can't see right now. So when he says to you, don't marry her, he knows that you're, wallah, mashallah, you're swept off your feet. But what he can see, you can't. And this is where you have to submit. You have to submit not only to Allah, but if your dad, again, I know, but if your dad is generally an upright, God-fearing man, and he says to you, no, wallah, if the world and everything in it was presented to you, so long as your father is not Radian, don't you in your life marry her or him. Ever. My young brother, if you're trying to marry a girl, and wallah, I'm speaking to you here, I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. Brother, if you're speaking to a girl without her father's knowledge, and yeah, I'm gonna give you that your intention is good, but as soon as you know, my brother, that her father doesn't want you, and you've genuinely tried and he doesn't accept, have some shame, have some dignity, have some sharaf. Leave her and walk away. You don't know the heart in the heart, bro. When you watch your daughter grow and you bleed and you cry and you do everything you can so that there's a roof over her head, right? And then she comes and she brings you a guy, Matarif Aslu Mannan, where he came from, where he started, where he ended, and she comes and she says, but wallah, dad, look, I'm in love. You might as well kill your father. We have to be conscious of ourselves, my young brothers. Life is not fair. Get over it. Life is about ta'ah, obedience. Your father owns you. Wallah, your father is the only man on earth, and I'll say this, on the summit of the highest mountain, because I've been there and I've tested and I got burnt and I thought at one stage, no one, your father is the only man who genuine wishes and desires that you turn out to be better than him. No one else on earth can ever take that. No sheikh, no alim, no mufti, no friend, no qawi, no one. Only with all his flaws. You see, sometimes when we speak about Bir al-Walidain, we have this rosy idea that my mom's the most amazing person on earth, and I love her and she loves me and everything's amazing. So whenever the idea of loving parents, you see people, they're just so, oh my God, brother, but that's not, you know, I don't know what to say. That's not the masses. And if you have that, wallah, you are very fortunate. Make shukr and thank Allah Azza wa Jal. But the truth is, for most of us, that's not the case. Most of us were the least favorite sibling, or maybe you're married to the least favorite daughter-in-law, or you're married to the least favorite son. This is the world. That's the truth. I try with my parents, and you know, I feel like no matter how much I give, I'm always at a loss. So people come and it's almost like they present the situation as in, you know, brother, Sheikh, no, look, can I back off? Can I leave him? That's your deen. That's what Allah chose that father with all of his mistakes and all of his, that's the crown Allah put on my head. Your relationship with your parents isn't a thing of wallah, you know, but brother, I don't feel like it. Wallahi samahni. Brother, aslan anta minak to tell me what you feel like. If it wasn't for the sarmaya of your father, anta aslan, where are you, bro? Those young brothers, you know, when your mother and your father, and you can see the har'a in his eye, bro. You see bro, I see father so many times, you know, he reaches a point where he thinks, brother, look, I'm at my wit's ends. Like, what do I do here? Like, do I physically smash my son because he doesn't seem to understand, right? Or do I let him go and watch him burn in front of my eyes? And you don't realize, most of us, this is the ultimatum that we're giving our parents. He can see that woman's going to destroy you. He can see that man that you fall in love, he can see that's not, and he's watching it. He can see that these boys that you're so in love with, that these boys that are taking you to this place and that, he can see it. But I'm trying to talk to my son and he won't understand. So what do I do? If I physically attack my son, not only do I lose him and break him, but it's actually even against the law. So that's a problem. And if I let him go, it's like a dagger. Every day he just goes slowly and slowly into my heart, and my son thinks he's what? He's on top of it. It's unfair. Wallahi, it's unfair. This is oppression. You would rather live with the oppression that your parents put on you than the oppression you put on them. This is life. Get over it. I'm not going to sit here and, wallah, you know, this is life, akhi.